This meeting is coming to order. Good morning, everyone. I am Councilmember Alexa Aviles, Chair of the Committee on Immigration. I'd like to begin by thanking my committee colleagues who have joined us here today. We have Councilmember Shekhar Krishnan, Majority Leader Amanda Farias, Councilmember Carmen de la Rosa, Councilmember Krista Hudson, Councilmember Rita Joseph, and Councilmember Eric Botcher. Thank you, colleagues. Today, the committee will be voting on resolutions 468 and 576. Resolution 468, sponsored by Councilmember Crystal Hudson, calls on the New York State Legislature to pass the Empire State Licensing Act, which would provide all New Yorkers access to professional, occupational, commercial, or business licenses, permits, certificates, or related registrations, regardless of an applicant's immigration status. This bill was previously heard on June 11, 2024. Resolution 576, sponsored by Majority Leader Amanda Farias, calls on the New York State Legislature to introduce and pass legislation amending the tax law to authorize the City of New York to offer tax credits for businesses to incentivize the creation of workforce development and training programs for newly arrived immigrants. This bill was previously heard on October 15, 2024. These bills, which I've co-sponsored, calls for changes that will benefit our immigrant communities and help address the labor shortages challenging our city's economy. Immigrants continue to significantly contribute to some of the state's fastest growing industries, including industries that are struggling with workforce shortages. There are growing demands not only for labor, but for the workers with bilingual skills, especially in fields such as education and healthcare. Amending licensing requirements to ensure that individuals with experience and knowledge of an industry can access relevant registration requirements and can open up numerous occupations to more workers. Incentivizing businesses to develop workforce training programs through tax credits can help bridge businesses' needs for workers and workers' needs for workforce development. Addressing barriers to employment allows immigrants to access jobs that meet their expertise and interests and allows them to work in New York City with dignity as they add to the fabric of our city. The state actions called for in these resolutions can help immigrant workers earn higher wages and increase job security, ultimately benefiting the New York economy through more robust tax revenues. Thank you to the committee staff for their work on this hearing, including Nicole Cata, Rebecca Barilla, Carolina Gill, Flor Cabor, and to my staff, Chief of Staff Edward Cerna, Legislative and Budget Director Christina Bottego, our Legislative Fellow Kate Byrne, and our Communications Director Winnie Marianne, and everyone who is working in the background to ensure that this hearing runs smoothly. I will now turn it over to Councilmember Hudson to make a brief statement on her bill.
Thank you so much, Chair Aviles, for your remarks and also for giving me the opportunity to speak on Resolution 468 today. In light of the current political climate, many New Yorkers fear what the new year will bring for themselves and their families. Immigrants are not just part of the fabric of this city, they are the needle and the thread. New York must do everything in its power to protect all of its residents, and Resolution 468 urges the New York State Legislature to pass and the governor to sign the Empire State Licensing Act. This legislation ensures that all New Yorkers, regardless of their citizenship or immigration status, have access to professional, occupational, commercial, and business licenses, permits, certificates, and related registrations. By passing this resolution, we will send a clear message that New York is a sanctuary of opportunity and inclusivity where everyone can contribute to the prosperity and strength of our city. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. Now we'll turn it over to Majority Leader Farias to make a brief statement about her bill.
Thank you so much, Chair Aviles. Reso 576 urges the New York State Legislature to pass legislation that would authorize New York City to offer tax credits to businesses that create workforce development programs specifically for newly arrived immigrants. These tax credits would help businesses offset the additional costs of providing training in languages other than English, and it would incentivize them to invest in immigrant workers, preparing them for jobs in growing sectors like construction and manufacturing. Our city is rapidly developing. Housing, industry, and infrastructure are expanding at an unprecedented rate, But with many older generations of workers in these sectors nearing retirement, we need to ensure that newly arrived immigrants are prepared to take their place. This is about creating opportunities for immigrants to thrive while addressing the labor shortages we're seeing in key industries. Thank you to the chair for having my bill today, and I urge my colleagues to vote yes on this important resolution.
Great. I recommend a yes vote and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Good morning, William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on Immigration. Both resos are coupled. Chair Aviles.
Proudly vote aye.
Botcher.
Aye.
Brewer.
Aye.
De La Rosa.
Aye.
Hanif. Joseph.
Aye.
Krishnan.
Aye.
With a vote of 6 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, both items have been adopted by the committee.
Thank you. Adjourned.